Hey guys, welcome to a filler video. Today we're going to be discussing the difference between Louisiana and Tajikistan because I've recently been made aware that some people don't know the difference somehow. So let's start off with the basics. Uh, Here for Louisiana, the capital, Baton Rouge. Tajikistan, Dushanbe. Largest city, New Orleans for Louisiana. Dushanbe for Tajikistan. Population of Louisiana 4.57 million, while for Tajikistan 10.14 million. The GDP pit kind of surprised me because this big difference 294.8 billion USD or uh, 3. Can I not have simplified this number? Fuck. 3 trillion Tajiki somones for Louisiana. Well, for Tajikistan, it's 12.06 billion USD or 131 billion Tajiki somones. Pretty big difference. And per capita, it's 71,642 USD or 781,000 Tajiki somoni. For Louisiana, while that's only 1,188.99 USD or 12,000 somones for Tajikistan. Louisiana is a little smaller at 52,000 square miles or 135 kilometers squared. Tajikistan's 55 miles squared or 143,000 kilometers squared. Louisiana has 64 subdivisions and we call them parishes, not counties. Well, I found 47 for Tajikistan. Uh, we use the UST. Tajikistan uses the Tajikistan Somoni. Extra info. For Louisiana, the language is English. Largest university is LSU. Most popular sport is American football. Largest export, coal and petroleum oil. Largest import is refined copper, right ahead of petroleum oil. Most famous for food and unique culture. Tallest building is the Hancock Whitney Center in New Orleans, which is 212 meters or 697 feet. For Tajikistan, the language is Tajiki and Russian. Well, the largest university is the TNU, Tajik National University. Most popular sport is football or US soccer. The largest export, aluminium and cotton, while the import is refined petroleum. They're most famous for their history and their nature, also with a little bit of poetry and literature in there. And their tallest building was, there's not a lot of info on it, so it's what I could find was the Dushanbe Plaza, 92 meters or 301 feet. Here's a very oversimplified history of Louisiana and Tajikistan. Louisiana was discovered by a Spaniard who found the Mississippi River, and it was first inhabited by the French in 1714 in what is now known as Natchitoches. That's pronounced Natchitoches. And it was later bought by the USA later in 1803. It was at its largest extent in the Louisiana Territory, and this is Fort Saint Jean Baptiste in Natchitoches. That's a replica. Now, Tajikistan has thousands of years of history, not just 300 years that can be summarized as this, but, you know, I tried. It was originally inhabited by the Tajik peoples, and it went through thousands of years of foreign rule and empires. Most notably, I think the Safavid and the Mongolian Empire, and the USSR, which then collapsed and the Tajikistan ASSR became its own country. This is yet again very simplified. And since it's a relatively new country, formed in 1991, I put its largest size as the Mongolian Empire, but that's not true because they didn't own that, so just ignore this. The largest size is what they are today. Culture. Yet again, very oversimplified. For Louisiana, it's defined and formed through many years of Spaniard and French rule alongside the major slave trade going through the Mississippi River Valley. Jazz was created from African and European music traditions. It was invented or created in New Orleans, and it's very famous. Our food uh, is divided by Creole and Cajun, which is reliant on French and African foods. You know, for gumbo example, for example, gumbo. Take the African okra, French roux, mix it together, you got gumbo. So yeah, Mardi Gras. Uh, Technically, it was created by a former governor who liked to throw balls, but it also has a religious background since it means Fat Tuesday, or it's a religious day, but we turned it into a festival, basically. And it's very popular all around Louisiana, but mostly New Orleans. And the Cajun and the Creoles. Cajun is a term that derives from anyone who came from Acadia, a former French colony in Canada. Um, they were expelled by the British, and most Acadians came to Louisiana and are now called Cajuns. Creoles come from the colonial era of French Louisiana. Originally, it means when Africans and Europeans mix with each other, they're called Creoles. Yeah. Tajiki culture, I couldn't find too much about because I'm a lazy researcher and because half those sites I looked at just refused to load. So, their culture comes from a mix of Zoroastrianism, Islam, and Soviet era, along with, more historically, close ties with Persia. It's very vibrant and full of art, you'll find. So, we have Shashmakam, which is a type of music that originates in Bukhara, Uzbekistan, but has spread to Tajikistan. It has a very harmonial vocal and string part of it, and is slightly influenced by literature and folklore. I think, pretty sure, yeah. Bushkashi, Bushkashi. It originates in Afghanistan, but it's spread all through Central Asia. So imagine soccer, or American soccer, or European football, I guess, except the players are all riding horses and the ball is a lamb carcass. Yeah, that's what I got from it from looking at a video and basic research. Probably inaccurate, but whatever. I'm trying. Anyways, it originates in Afghanistan. It's their national sport, but it spread to other countries in the Stans. So I count it here. Tajiki literature, which is seems to be based on folklore, uh, in a recounted history and local lore. Tajiki literature is somewhat close to Persian literature and Uzbek literature until they split. And then we have Mergon. Couldn't find too much on this, unfortunately. I just found that it was festivals in Persia and Tajikistan, which has a lot of social gatherings, food, and music, and it tends to happen after November, I think, or November 3rd. The end. Bye bye. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and join my Discord.